girl. You know, for days now I've been watching you as you walk by. But I've been afraid to come out and tell you exactly just what's on my mind.
Yo, what up, everyone? Welcome back to the Dubs Only Podcast. I know I've been lacking on the episodes, but you know I had to get on for this one. The big trade that went on last night, Saturday night, after the Lakers beat the New York Knicks, and right after the end of the Benavidez Morales fight. If you haven't watched that fight, that was an all-time great right there. Two fucking big head fucking boxers going at it. But yeah, we got breaking news last night from Shams, and let me just read to you the trade. The Lakers, they got Luka Doncic, Maxi Kleber, and Markieff Morris. Mavericks got Anthony Davis and Max Christie, the 2029 first-round pick. And the Jazz, the Utah Jazz, they got Jalen Hood-Schifino, Clippers second-round pick for 2025, and a 2025 Mavericks second-round pick. Now, what my first reaction when I saw this was, is this real? I really thought that it was one of these pages that were just trolling and stuff like that. And just the fact that we got Luka Doncic. I mean, Luka Doncic is one of my favorite players in the NBA. And arguably, to me, I think he is the best player in the NBA. So when you have players of that caliber, you don't really see them move franchises, especially at his age. He's 25 right now. He's going to be 26 at the end of the month. And barely going into his prime. He's not even really in his prime yet, but he's going into his prime. And the fact that he's coming off a finals visit against the Celtics, he was tearing it up before he got injured. And just the fact that the Lakers were able just to pull something off like this, I mean, did I see this coming? Not at all. I thought the Lakers were actually going to stick with the mold of Anthony Davis, LeBron James. We're going to build around you guys, just get extra shooters, get another big. That was my fucking big thing going into the trade deadline, which is this Thursday. That, you know what, we're just going to get another big. Did I ever think in my wildest dreams that we're going to get Luka Doncic? Not at all. And the fact that we got Luka Doncic shows me two things. It's one, that we've seen enough of the Anthony Davis, LeBron James train. It happened 2019, 2020 when we traded the young core of Lonzo Ball, Josh Hart, Brandon Ingram to New Orleans for Anthony Davis. We ended up getting the ring that year in the bubble, it counts as a real ring. For those who don't think it's a real ring, something's wrong with you. But that's a conversation for another day. And yeah, we got Anthony Davis. And if you really think about it, Anthony Davis' tenure with the Lakers, with him and LeBron James, it's been kind of a little bit disappointing. We've had first round after first round exit, nothing but just going to the in-game tournament, the play-in tournament, just from players such as LeBron James and Anthony Davis like that we've seen won a ring. Just the fact that they weren't able to meet the standards that we really did place upon them when this trade went down. It kind of underperformed in my opinion. Now you could blame the injuries played a factor in it, which is true, but overall, when you look back at it, 2020 vision, it was a little bit of a disappointment for what it was. Did we win the championship? Yes, we did. Could there have been more? I think there should have been more. But overall, Anthony Davis' time at the Lakers has come to an end. And honestly, thank you, Anthony Davis, for being at the Lakers. You showed us we had another dominant big. When you were on, you were on. No one could really play against you. When you wanted to be the best player on the court, you were arguably the best player on the court. Can shoot the three ball at times, mid range, post up, can dime up if you really need to. Amazing defender. Like I think he doesn't get enough defensive player of the year nods from people for what he does on the defensive end. But let's just go into the trade right now, because the fact that we got Luka Doncic, let me go back to my original point. The fact that we got Luka Doncic, it showed me that, yeah, the LeBron James and the Anthony Davis era, it ran its course. But the second thing that it showed me was, okay, now we have our guy post-LeBron era. And that was the one thing that was kind of not confusing, but more like, okay, what's going to happen post-LeBron? We're kind of going into this darkness area like we did after Kobe left. We had D'Angelo Russell and Julius Randle and all that stuff, but they weren't really bona fide stars to the caliber of what Luka Doncic was, or even showed that type of caliber to be those type of stars to carry a franchise. And now that we have Luka Doncic, like I mentioned, 25 years old, going to be 26 at the end of the month, we have this open window now for the next arguably 6 to 10 years, if he really takes care of himself like that. We have a window like that because Luka Doncic can do it all. Everything on the offensive side, he can do it all. Defensively, yeah, we know he's a liability on defense. Can't really sit down in the chair like that. Not gonna be a one. Gonna be a lock you up 1-on-1. But for what he doesn't do on defense, he makes up on offense. And like I said, this is just secures on okay, we have our superstar post LeBron. So what do I think is gonna happen for the rest of this season with the Lakers? Well, my thing with the Lakers at the end of the season is kind of like, well, I think if we have a deal like this and that we had a deal like this already like thought about and it actually got executed, there has to be a backup plan or not backup plan, but more like plan. All right, next step, we got to get a big now. So I think going into this trade, you already have the idea of okay, if this were actually go down, we have this now to complement this trade, to make complement this move, so that we can get a fuller team instead of just a bunch of 3-and-D wings and stuff like that. Because what this team really needs is a big. We got rid of one of the two best bigs, him and Jokic. So with the rest of this year, I'm not going to say that the year is lost, but in a sense, it kind of is in the fact that if we don't end up getting another big or doing another move to solidify the front court, then yeah, I think the year is going to be lost. And going forward, I honestly think that what this shows me is that LeBron can kind of go in the I don't want to say walk away, but more like, all right, now we can be at peace of post LeBron. We're not gonna be like so tied to him where it's like LeBron, don't leave, don't retire, don't do none of this. But now that we have that security blanket with Luka going forward, it kind of opens it up to okay, if he does decide to retire, if he does want to leave, then all right, then go for it, man. We have Luka now. But I think that LeBron's gonna stick for one more year. I think they're gonna play one more year together, and then he's gonna retire after that. And this is going to be a big benefit to Luka because one thing that they got rid of him for was his conditioning, his weight. There was a report that he got up to 270 and stuff like that, and that was kind of one reason why they didn't want to. I guess they didn't want to re-sign him to the supermax that he was eligible for at the end of the season. But with the Mavs GM, the way that he kind of presented it, if you guys saw the reports that he kind of talked to Robert Pelinka about that, and the ties that he has with Anthony Davis, going from USA Basketball, from other things and stuff like that. Jason Kidd, he coached Anthony Davis during the 2020 year and post that, and it's just we're just gonna see what's gonna go forward. I think for the Mavs, they won this trade in the sense that they got their solidified center. He gets to go back to not a center, but they got their offensive big because Derek Lively and Daniel Gafford, they're not on an Anthony Davis level. Can they play defense? Yes, they can, but they can't present an offense just like he can. So I think that the Dallas Mavericks, they won in the sense that the next 2 to 3 years with Kyrie, Klay Thompson, and Anthony Davis, that's a stout core right there, and they're in win now mode. All three of those players have won championships. They've had playoff success. So I think for that team to go along with PJ Washington, you still got Daniel Gafford, you got Quinn Grimes, you got all those players right there. So and they had the experience as well because they went to the finals the year before. So I think that this has moved up the Dallas Mavericks to maybe 2 or 3, right behind SGA and the Thunder. So it's gonna be fun to see what the Mavericks are gonna pull off with this because now that the Mavericks have a big, they can really play any type of basketball they want. You can play Anthony Davis as the 4, where we've seen him have his most success in his career. You can play him as a small ball 5 because he can guard 1 through 5. Kyrie and him in the pick and roll setting. That's gonna be a matchup, my nightmare, because we know Kyrie has that pull up jumper if he wants it. We know how crafty he is down in the lane, getting in the air, going up for layups and stuff like that. Kick out to Anthony Davis for a 3, hit him on the roll, throw him the lob. Once you have that screen, someone have to come down. You're gonna open up the corner shots, which is Klay, perimeter threes. It's gonna be a whole lot of stuff that's gonna open up for the Mavericks if they can all get this right, especially between those 3. And for the Lakers, they won as well. Like I broke it down already. We got our future piece. The Lakers got their future piece. Now it's gonna see that who are they gonna surround Luka Doncic with, and I'm excited to see that. And that's going to be my reaction, guys. Thank you guys for watching. We're going to drop an episode later this week, just previewing the Super Bowl. We're going to have Philly Monk on that. So just go ahead and stay tuned for that. I'll catch y'all later. Peace.
Yes, I think I'm going out of
48. Driving down the 110, going 110. Like I started now, never from the bullpen. Call him Kirsch, never wish the worst. Come back around, trigger karma is a curse. Driving down the 110, going 110. Like I started now, never from